Good morning, guys. I just arrived here in my office and I'm about to head into a poker session straight away. Now it's still very early and usually I don't wake up this early, not gonna lie. But today I want to give myself a shot to do well in the leaderboard on GG Poker, as well as experience how the games are early morning in the day. So that's what I'm about to do right now. Heading into it, gonna do a short warm-up for a couple of minutes and then heading straight into the games, and I'll catch up with you guys when the session is over. Just finished my session. I played a little bit over 1200 hands, a little bit over 3 hours, and in the end you will see my result of this session. I am winning, but it's not a lot. You can see that especially the second part of the session, I don't think I played that well, to be honest. A little bit too soft, maybe not as focused as I was hoping for, but yeah, happy that I played, happy that I put in some volume again, and now it's time to go outside, take a break, get some fresh air, and take a coffee. So a normal working day for myself is split into a few different parts. First of all, I'm a poker player, as you guys know, and I played PLO earlier this morning, and as a poker player I also have to study poker, at least if I have the drive and ambition to become better and play higher stakes. So I'm gonna spend about an hour to 1.5 hours now when I go back to the office to look into the hands that I just played and see what I did incorrect, what I can do better in my next sessions, and basically find ways to improve my game. Now, outside of me being a poker player, I'm also involved in the PLO Mastermind, and not only do I create content for the PLO Mastermind, I'm also involved in the business side of PLO Mastermind. So later today, for example, I have a team meeting where we're gonna talk and discuss more about PLO Trainer, and we're gonna basically catch up, see how things are going with the project and what the next milestones will be. So a couple of things on the schedule for this afternoon, but first things first, let's get back to the office and jump into some hands that I just played. First one, I face a 3-bet after open raising from under the gun. Now I decided to 4-bet this hand, and this is also in theory a 4-bet. Keep in mind that 4-betting a hand like this is best when you know that your opponent is capable of folding against a 4-bet. That's where the value comes from of 4-betting hands like this. I was playing against a regular in this hand, so I do think he has a 3-bet folding range. Therefore 4-betting this one is good. I flop really well. Money goes in. My opponent also flops really well. We're flipping basically on the flop, but luckily I take this one down and win a nice pot. I open raise ace king jack 9 triple suited in middle position, very standard. We're gonna go heads up to a flop 9-9-4 with 2 diamonds. Very straightforward c-bet. You could every now and then also check a hand like this back, but I think generally you want to bet your best 9x hands on the flop, especially with an ace in your hand. We get check raised and I decide to call here. I might not even have a raising range, or if it is, I have a very small raising range. I decide to just call, keep all the bluffs in from my opponent, and basically see a turn. We don't improve to a boat, but obviously against a 2/3 pot bet sizing, we have a straightforward call. I don't think we want to get it in. Yes, there is some value against a weaker 9, but at the same time my opponent can easily have 4-4, 9-4, 9-7 at this point, so I think just calling again and seeing a river is better. Now on the river, I was a little bit unsure whether or not I should value bet. I think my opponent is capable of still having 4-4. Sometimes slow play a hand, but I don't think that 9-4 or 9-7 will be in his range that often. I decided to check back, and this might be a little bit too tight. On the other hand, like, do I get value if I shove against any hand that is weaker than a 9? I don't really think so, so I'm really targeting 9x. And I think the majority of 9x will anyway get it in on his end. So, I don't know. Feels close on the river. I decided to check. And we win against like a missed flush draw that turned also an open-ended straight draw. I 3-bet ace, king, king, 9. Single, totally standard against the cutoff open. We don't flop much. This is a board where I'm not gonna do too much c-betting just because my 3-betting range doesn't really have a strong connection to this board. Now the out of position player should do a decent amount of leading, which in theory is true. In reality, I don't really see happening, making us probably want to check back a bit more on the flop. We turned great, top set. My opponent pots it, basically wrapping ace 4, 4, 6. Sometimes maybe 5, 5 or 3, 3, deuce, deuce. I think we just have a straightforward call and see a river. And decide basically on the river. Now I think having top set here with the ace in my hand, blocking ace 4, I find it really hard to fold. There aren't just that many ace 4 and 6-4 in my opponent's range, I think. So I'm not sure if calling is necessarily that bad. But we have to keep in mind that my opponent must find a decent amount of bluffs in order to make this call good. Yeah, I don't know. I just don't have it in me at the moment to fold top set on this board. I think it's standard this, but I don't know. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. So one of the things that I'm responsible for within the PLO Mastermind is all the virtual machines that we are renting to run all the sims for PLO Trainer. At the moment, I'm managing between 10 and 15 virtual machines, and all these VMs basically are running sims 24/7. And what that means is that on a daily basis, I am checking all these machines. I'm making sure that the results are being uploaded and eventually updated into our product. So everything from creating the tree and running the sim all the way up to getting it into our end product, which is PLO Trainer. I'm the one responsible at the moment for that within the PLO Mastermind. So that's my next task. I'm gonna check up on all these VMs, make sure that they are active, that they're being utilized, and that we are running a lot of sims basically. Now that that's out of the way, guys, it's time to take a short break, get some lunch, and afterwards keep going for today. Okay, let's get out of here. I actually forgot to mention, guys, that I came in 12th earlier today in the leaderboard on Russian Cash. I won 8,000 points, winning $45. And yeah, that was based on around 1,200 hands, playing for about 3 hours. So one of the things left on my schedule for today is creating a few shorts for YouTube. So that's what I'm gonna do right now, getting into some content creation before my meeting on PLO Trainer later this afternoon. I face a 3-bet and I decide to call in position. And on this board, our opponent's range will naturally interact really well. Against a small bet, I'm just gonna call. I don't want to raise and narrow his range down too much. And my overall range doesn't really have that many raises in the first place on this board. So I just spent about 2 hours working on PLO Trainer, and I gotta be honest guys, today was kind of a pain in the ass. There were several bugs that have to be fixed, and it took a lot of time, and it's sometimes super challenging to make sure that both products work, that sims that are added are being tested, that everything we put out there we know is good. And sometimes when we get a bug reported or we realize something is broken, which for those of you who don't work with software, I can tell you I didn't know anything about it. I didn't know for years what's happening, but now that I am involved in a project like that, things just break out of nowhere, it seems sometimes. And I'm not a software developer, so I'm working constantly with our developer to make sure that whatever gets reported, whatever is broken, we're fixing it. But it can be challenging, frustrating sometimes, and today was definitely not fun in that regard. Well, now it's time to get into our weekly tech meeting. This is a 4-way meeting, and we're gonna talk about software, vision, features, and anything other than that is software related.